It's the oldest theater in the greater Augusta area, first opening in 1918 as the Wells Theater. 105 years later, the historic Imperial Theater continues to amaze thousands of audience members while undergoing major renovations. Our Maria Sellers is live at the Imperial now with more info on it. Hey, Maria.
Hey, Cliff, Zana, good morning. And with me here we have Charles Scovullo, the executive director of the Imperial Theater. So, Charles, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the history of this building and the last time it underwent a major renovation.
The building was built in 1917, opened as the Wells Theater in 1918, and shortly thereafter, unfortunately, it was forced to close at the end of 1918. It reopened in 1919 as the Imperial Theater, operated as a movie theater into the 70s and closed in 1981. It was saved in the mid-1980s, and in the mid-1980s was the first big renovation of the theater.
Wow, so it's been more than 30 years since a major renovation. So why did you guys decide to have these renovations now?
Well, they were definitely needed. I got here 16 years ago and was able to identify very quickly that a lot of work was needed on the building. We have been able to complete $1.6 million worth of primarily infrastructure work over the last 6 or 7 years. Now it's time to spend time with the aesthetics and with the interior of the building, and in particular with patron comfort and convenience.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what those renovations can entail and what patrons who will come in will expect to see once it's all done.
Well, right now we're doing a painting project in the orchestra section of the theater, which involves painting the ceiling, the walls, repairing plaster work. So when the season starts in August and September, people will be able to see, obviously, the improvements that were made then. Further on down the road, we have other improvements that are needed in terms of improving the restrooms. The ladies' room needs to be expanded, the men's room needs to be relocated and expanded, and concessions needs to be expanded to make it more efficient and get people through the concessions process quickly and more easily. Also make the entire building more consistent or compliant with Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah, and that's so important. So what kind of timeline are we looking at for the completion of this project?
We're hoping to we have a 5-phase master plan. We're hoping to have 2 or 3 of the master plan projects done within the next 2.5 to 3 years. All told, the 4th and 5th projects probably in 4 or 5 years.
Wow. So what can people expect to see when this is done, and kind of, how are you feeling about these renovations?
Well, overall, with regard to the relocation and expansion of the restrooms and concessions, and that also involves the box office as well as installing an elevator in the front of the building, it'll be a total transformation and reimagining of the front. So the front will look completely different than it does now. The reason for our needing to do that is that the building was originally constructed so that it could be subdivided and rented. So it's at multi-levels. You have to go down steps to get to concessions. You have to go down steps or down a ramp to get to the ladies' room. And it's not convenient at all. So overall, it's going to be a fantastic improvement, and people will be able to recognize the minute they walk through the door all the changes that have occurred.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Charles. I am definitely excited to see what this looks like after these renovations. Now I'm going to turn things back over to Cliff and Zana in the studio.
All right.
Wow.
Thanks, Maria. It's going to be really neat to see when this